In the quiet moments of ordinary life, we often find the answers we weren't looking for. This is Quiet Intersections. The sunlight leaks through the window, hitting the floor with a soft glow. It catches the dust floating lazily in the beams. There's a plate beside the sink, its chipped edge catching my attention. I pick it up, feel the coolness of the ceramic against my palm. The remnants of last night's dinner are still there, flecks of sauce dried and clinging stubbornly to its surface. I turn on the water, and it spills out in a rush, sounding like someone sighing after holding their breath too long. I scrub at the plate with a sponge, its rough texture scraping against the porcelain, creating a slight resistance. The soap makes slippery bubbles that cling to my fingers as I rinse off the residue, a childish delight in an otherwise mundane task. In the quiet aftermath of cleaning, I glance around the kitchen. A chair slightly pulled out from the table remains, where Angela had left it during last night's meal, her laughter still hanging in the air like a faint aroma of garlic. The cookbook she had used sits open on the counter, pages bent back as though eager to show me what we had almost made together. I lean against the edge of the counter, taking it all in the way everything seems slightly out of place since she left for her work trip 2 days ago. The kettle starts to whistle sharply. I've filled it with water without truly thinking, my thoughts wandering elsewhere. She would be home tomorrow evening. I imagine her bustling through that door again, her rosy-cheeked smile lighting up this dim space. I wonder if I have enough milk for tea. Looking in the fridge reveals a half-empty jug slumping towards expiration. I remember our hours at this very table, salt from dinner etching grooves into its surface alongside countless coffee cup rings that we always meant to wipe down but never got around to. I cheat myself out of those moments more often than not, and they pile up just like our dishes do when neither of us wants to take on that mundane duty. Our routines knit themselves around each other but fray at the edges when one is absent. These thoughts swirl together as I fill up a mug with tea darkening by seconds under gentle steam escaping upwards, a weightless wisp dissolving into nothingness around me. I could have asked her about our plans, surfaces into my mind shortly after I sip my tea too soon and feel scalding heat against my tongue. She had her own ideas bursting with promise. New York next spring, or perhaps Spain if we can scrape together just enough savings in time. Every time those places flirted into discussion, something pulled at me to consider cautiously. Money spent frivolously versus experiences cherished simply over time. But for now, it is just me here wondering which conversation sparks life into empty rooms, if my need for contentment can ease that familiar ache. I think about last week's bill that glared at me from across the table during breakfast while pouring cereal into our bowl. It lingered there until we pushed it aside like yesterday's leftovers. Then again comes another nagging thought. What if our plans dissolve into mere whims? What if the kettle stops whistling altogether as days turn into weeks? Lingering long over spilled thoughts like those spills on our aging table. I think again about getting outside where everything feels alive with possibility versus keeping warm in solitude with each forkful of leftover lasagna trapped within those plastic containers drained atop each other behind closed doors at night. But then there's that missed connection again, picking up my phone only to set it back down again before scrolling through messages left unanswered from work colleagues. I want Angela's voice instead, her whimsical suggestions tempting journeys unmade, yet all whispers scattered alongside clutter simmering in my restless mind. A car rumbles past outside as darkness begins swallowing daylight whole once more. With reflections swirling within fading light, lingering around edges 5 minutes longer before deciding against calling, because again and again the thoughts trail off. Some stories don't end when the video ends. They stay with us. If this one did, you're welcome to stay a little longer. Subscribe for more quiet stories.